In the soft golden light of an African dawn, a lone Messerschmitt Bf 109 streaks out of the desert horizon. The hum of its engine cuts the silence as it climbs to engage invisible enemies miles away. Below, columns of palm trees sway. Above, the emptiness of the sky holds both peril and promise. In those boundless skies, one man's name would strike fear among his adversaries and earn him the title Star of Africa. Who was this pilot whose fame grew in the harsh theater of the Western Desert? And how did he earn such enduring legend? If stories of daring in history move you, give this video a like and subscribe. Ahead lie more riveting tales from the past. Hans-Joachim Marseille was born on the 13th of December, 1919 in Berlin. His youth was marked by a fascination with aviation. As a teenager, he earned a glider pilot's certificate, showing early aptitude and calm under pressure. In 1937, he joined the German Reichsmarine briefly, then transferred to the Luftwaffe's flight training program. By 1939, he qualified as a fighter pilot. During the early years of World War II, Marseille served with Jagdgeschwader 52, JG 52, the fighter wing that would become familiar with action on multiple fronts. He was initially assigned to the Eastern Front, but his path would lead him to a different stage of war. In April 1941, his unit was transferred to the Mediterranean Theater, stationed in Sicily, and later to North Africa, a shift that would define his legacy. Marseille was known among fellow pilots for his cool temperament and keen eyesight. He rarely spoke of himself. In correspondence and diaries, he stressed precision and humility. His early kills were earned steadily, and he became known for mastering deflection shooting and keeping control in high-stress dogfight situations. By late 1941, he had achieved enough success to be recognized among his peers. His rise would accelerate when he arrived in the African sun. In February 1942, Marseille joined 3rd Gruppe of JG-27, which was operating in North Africa. The Western Desert had become a crucial zone. Supply routes stretched across vast distances. Control of the air meant influence over ground operations, and the Allied air forces were steadily increasing their presence. In this environment, the margins were slim, and every engagement counted. His first confirmed victory in Africa came on the 1st of April 1942, when he downed a British Hawker Hurricane. That moment marked the beginning of a dramatic ascent. Over the next months, Marseille scored dozens of victories. He began to stand out not only for the quantity, but also for his style. He often preferred attacking from altitude, executing boom and zoom tactics, and using excellent marksmanship to finish opponents with minimal trace gun bursts. The climate and conditions in the desert were punishing. Sand, extreme heat, and logistic constraints put additional strain on both men and machines. Marseille adapted. Pilots had to contend with mechanical failures, misalignment of instruments, and extended patrols over barren landscapes. Yet Marseille's record during summer of 1942 was remarkable. By August, he had achieved more than 60 victories in that theater alone. His fame grew among both German and Allied airmen. Pilots of the opposing side came to know of Der Jäger vom Afrika-Feldzug, the Hunter of the Africa campaign. His success also came with decorations. On the 17th of August, 1942, he was awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross after 60 missions and 65 confirmed victories. By late 1942, Marseille's score in Africa had exceeded 100. He developed a reputation as a one-strike pilot. Often, in a single sortie, he would approach an enemy formation, pick off 1 or 2 aircraft, and disengage before drawing focused resistance. Many of his kills came in quick bursts, sometimes firing only a handful of rounds. This efficiency added to the aura around him. He collaborated with a small, cohesive group of fellow pilots, but he often flew alone or led small flights. His style emphasized observation, patience, and capitalization of enemy errors. His favorite targets were the more vulnerable aircraft, those lagging behind, diving, or lacking escort. Marseille was not known to aggressively pursue every foe, but rather to strike tactically. On the 1st of September 1942, he reached 158 confirmed victories, a record at that time for a Luftwaffe pilot operating in a single theater. He became a national figure, welcomed back to Germany for brief visits, awarded the oak leaves, swords, and diamonds to his Knight's Cross, and held up in propaganda as a model pilot, though his own documents rarely embraced that self-image. However, by late 1942, Allied air strength in Africa was growing. American and Commonwealth air units introduced improved tactics, more capable fighters, and tighter formation discipline. The attrition among German pilots and supply constraints began to bite. Marseille flew fewer missions, partly by command decision, partly because he was used as a symbol, and partly due to wear on his machines. Despite that, he still recorded victories in late 1942. His last confirmed one in Africa was on the 30th of September. In total, he achieved some 158 to 160 victories in the North African theater, many recorded in groups of multiple kills per day. In October 1942, Marseille received leave to return to Germany. He visited family, public functions, and served briefly as an instructor. The intensifying air war on the eastern and western fronts demanded experienced pilots in training roles. However, he longed to return to active combat. In mid-1943, he did so, now assigned to a unit involved in defending occupied Europe. On the 30th of September 1943, during a mission south of Sicily, Marseille's aircraft was lost in the Mediterranean under unexplained circumstances. He attempted to bail out, but was lost at sea. He was 23 years old. The exact circumstances of his death remain somewhat ambiguous. Some accounts attribute mechanical failure or control loss, but no definitive cause appears in surviving records. By the time of his death, his final tally was officially 158 to 158, or slightly more, confirmed aerial victories, making him one of the top German aces. His career was concentrated in a brief period and in a specific theater. His methods, poise in combat, and efficiency remain topics of interest to historians of aviation. Though he fought in a contentious era, the study of Marseille's flight style, decision-making, and the tactical environment of desert warfare offers insight into air combat dynamics of the time. His story is not one of glorification, but of a human skill manifested under extreme conditions. Hans-Joachim Marseille's life was brief, yet his impact on aerial warfare lore endures. He flew in an environment where mechanical, logistic, meteorological, and human factors all pressed in, leaving little room for error. His discipline, focus, and acuity under pressure allowed him to succeed. In the decades since, scholars compare his sorties, analyze radio transcripts, and reconstruct engagements to understand how one pilot could so often emerge victorious. Today, as we look back, the story of Marseille prompts reflection. How do individuals perform under extreme stress? What is the role of training, temperament, opportunity, and perhaps luck? In a world where aerial combat has radically changed, his experiences serve as a bridge to understanding the human dimension behind machines and tactics. Does memory of such individuals help us keep alive lessons about courage, technology, and the costs of war? If you enjoyed this story, give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next journeys through history.